All right, guys, well, I'm back today with a brand new high value and budget dot from Holosun, and this is what I'm calling the new gold standard for high value and budget red dots for a rifle setup that you can trust your life to. Whether it's personal defense, a patrol rifle optic, or a duty rifle, this truly is an impressive optic with a ton of really nice specs and features that you can rely on that won't completely break the bank. Now, these generally sell at an MSRP of $188, although the street price seems to be a lot less lately. And I've actually found this for $126.50 on Amazon. That link will be in the description below. Now, that's 33% off its MSRP and the lowest price in 30 days. So for under $130, I don't think this optic can be beat. We're going to talk about the specs and features of this optic, what makes it so great, especially something you can trust your life to, as well as why I like it so much and the philosophy of use behind something like this. Now, the first thing we are going to discuss is that price point. Now, that price point of $126.50 is great. There are other optics on the market that cost 2 or 3 times as much that have nowhere near the glass quality, durability, or specs and features that this Holosun has, and we've been testing it down at the range. Again, I've already bought a second one because I like it so much. I have no affiliation with the company Holosun, but that Amazon link in the description below is an affiliate link, meaning if you click on it, it helps out the channel at no extra cost to you, just brings you straight to the deal. Now, what comes in the package? Obviously, you get the optic and the high-profile mount, as well as a low-profile mount in the box, and both of the mounts actually include these anti-slide tabs or lock-up tabs, which are key. And you'll see this theme throughout this optic and the mount, as well as just Holosun lately in general. These guys are truly punching well above their weight class, and they are setting the new standards for optics and mounts, and I love this mount. A lot of cheaper mounts or high value and budget mounts will have those Torx heads on the side where you torque it down. This one actually has a cross bolt, which I like much better for durability, reliability, and an optic I'm going to trust my life on. You also get the tools and screws to mount everything up, and those same anti-slide tabs or lock-up tabs are going to be inside the mount that you see here, and you also have that same cross bolt design. You also get 2 battery trays if you happen to booger up the first one, so that's really nice, especially at that sub $130 price point that it's going for now. The next thing I want to talk about when it comes to duty-ready applications or truly trusting your life to is going to be the fact that this gets plenty bright in every single lighting condition. So you're not going to run out of your house in the bright sun shining down on a white target and wash out the dot. This thing gets plenty bright, and that is the first disqualifier for a red dot for me, is if I pick it up and in a weird lighting condition it doesn't work. In fact, it actually has 12 brightness settings for NV modes, so again, across the board, it's going to work. The next thing is it's going to have shake awake or motion awake technology, meaning when it senses motion, it's automatically going to turn on, so you don't need to worry about fumbling with buttons in a personal defense scenario. You simply pick up the rifle, it automatically turns on, and you're good to go. Up to 50,000 hour battery life, and with that shake awake technology, this battery is going to last you practically forever. I've got some Holosuns I've had for over 5 years, and I've never swapped out the battery, and they still turn on when you pick them up, so that is a nice touch. And the last thing I want to mention when it comes to a duty grade or patrol rifle or personal defense rifle, it's IP67 waterproof rated, so it's fully submergible in water. Now, you're not going to go scuba diving with this like some other optics on the market that are IPX8 or IP68, but IP67 is going to be plenty good enough for a patrol rifle optic or a duty rifle optic, even fully submerged. This will be good to go. So those are some really nice key features. The next thing I want to mention about the optic itself is actually it has protected exposed turrets. Now that is absolutely great, especially at the top. Across the top, you have this machined piece of aluminum that fully encapsulates the top turret. So any drops or impacts, which we will be testing at a later part of this video, that will be protected. And then we also have fully exposed turrets, meaning you can adjust them on the fly very quickly with the included tool right in there or the back of a shell casing. So that's really convenient, and that's really nice, especially when maintaining maintaining that waterproof rating. You heard me mention that we will be testing this down at the range. I will be doing the standard water bottle test that we've been doing on the channel for years, and that makes or breaks an optic as like the final test that we do. I have full confidence that this will pass, but we have to do it, so make sure you watch the entire video. Another great thing about this optic is the fit and finish. This is leaps and bounds above the previous generation Holosuns and other red dots anywhere near this price point. It is just absolutely spectacular, and the material selection is also really nice. It's skeletonized where it needs to be to lighten the weight, but it's built incredibly robust where it's been surviving impacts down at the range with no issues whatsoever. The other thing where this really stands out is the dot quality is incredibly nice and the glass clarity is insane. This is one of the clearest micro dots I've ever fired, let alone under $130. It just doesn't compute when you pick this optic up. Again, when you feel the fit and finish, the build quality, and see the glass clarity and dot clarity, it blows me away that they can do this. Even at the $188 price point, they're doing an amazing job, and I don't say that lightly. Again, no affiliation with Holosun. I've just fallen in love with this dot. The other great thing is it's got 2 screws holding the battery tray in, so you can swap out that battery with ease, but it locks in there rock solid, so you don't have to worry about anything popping off or coming loose. The emitter on this optic, which is generally located at the bottom rear, stays completely buried out of sight, so you cannot see the emitter looking through the optic. Previous generations of high value and budget red dots could be partially seen with that emitter and really obstruct your view just a touch or be a little bit distracting. This one completely buries it, and again, they've done an amazing job. In summary, this thing is everything I could want it to be and more at this price point. The only thing we can do, or the last thing we can do, is take it down to the range to do that water bottle test. Then we'll come back and summarize after that. Now for the water bottle beatdown test. Every new optic that comes out to the channel has to go through this test. This is where we beat this optic up with a water bottle to apply G-forces and shock to see if it breaks. A lot of high value and budget optics will break or shift completely off target a foot, so anything smaller than the size of my hand at the end is a pass. Anything smaller than the size of my fist, group size, is definitely a pass. We're going to beat it up, but first we're going to fire 3 shots on camera to confirm 0. Here we go. All right, so here are our 3 shots shooting at the number 7. We'll beat this up and see if it passes. Here we go. We're going to smack this on the sides right near the mount and see if it shifts. We're going to smack it on the other side. We're going to smack it at the front, the top. Oh, we broke the water bottle. Don't worry, we've got extra. So that sometimes will happen. First 3 shots. All right, next beat down, we're going to get this thing pretty good. Hit it from the sides, not cutting any slack. I love this optic, but we got to see if it can survive like all the other ones. We can't call it the gold standard if this doesn't survive. And final beatdown. I gotta cut this one any slack. See if the mount comes loose or it shifts 0. Oh, I can already tell. Looking good. Look, at that. This is one of the best groups ever. That has a lot to do with the clear glass. I mean, this is absolutely awesome. Way, way smaller than the size of my fist. Way smaller than the size of my hand. This thing is probably the best micro dot test we've ever done. Definitely gold standard material. We are back from the range, and this optic has my 100% seal of approval for the new gold standard. The Holosun ARO, it's where it's at, and again, at this price point, it's going to be hard to beat, if not impossible. All of the information and linking will be in the description below. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.